Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Monday Night Football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, the young gunslinger Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs as his guys get set to take on Case Keenum and the Denver Broncos. I'll be back at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from Sunday's action. But for now, it's Monday Night Football. And to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, we find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. A moment ago, through a shower of pyrotechnics, it was the hometown Broncos taking the field as they get set to do battle with the Kansas City Chiefs. And hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, we look at this Bronco team. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the visitors here, the Chiefs, they've got to be pleased with the start to this season. Obviously, a perfect 3-0.
3 good quality wins, too. It's got people in the locker room excited. They're thinking that this could be their year.
Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Steven Nelson able to get a hand in coverage. The offensive lineup now, and the guy we highlight, Emmanuel Sanders.
You can use him in any spot as a wide receiver. In the slot, out wide. It doesn't matter. He just makes plays.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Here's Royce Freeman, the first carry for the rookie. And he gets this one just shy of the 40 to mark him down at the 39. That good for 19 and a first down. Throwing on first down is Keenum. And the catch made. This is Emmanuel Sanders. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. A good pickup there at 22.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
On first down, it's Keenum. And the Chiefs are going to get him. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down.
Green, 39.
From the gun, Kelly. And a hit jarred loose. It's incomplete. Kansas City's 3-0, but this defense, they've had some issues, Charles, giving up 474 yards a game through 3 weeks. That's last in the league.
Yeah, and normally what Kansas City does is they take the ball away from you. You know, they create turnovers, create those takeaways. But part of the reason that they're giving up so many yards, they're playing with a lead, so they can afford to, back up a little bit and give up stuff underneath. And the second part is Mahomes is throwing all these touchdown passes. Every time they go to the sideline to get a drink of water, they're getting summoned back out on the field because they just scored again.
On play action, it's Keenum. Got him in. He finds Sanders. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. They convert on third with a gain of 22. Shotgun snap for Keenum. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. And not much on the return there. He'll take it only up to the 9-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
So after the INT, here's Mahomes. And this one caught by Travis Kelce. And he's taken down, but able to get this up to the 20-yard line. The numbers for Travis Kelce last week. 8 catches, 114 yards.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that he's off to a hot start here in this first month, and those are the kind of performances you expect to see going forward.
A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. Give him 13 yards there and a Kansas City first down. Well, no slow start here. A couple nice chunk plays back-to-back.
I love the momentum that they're showing here early because they did it both ways, right? Threw the ball on first down for a nice chunk of yardage. Came right back and ran the ball. Looks like they've got the defense set back on their heels. Let's see if they can keep this moving.
Throwing on first down is Mahomes. It's complete to Chris Conley. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Mahomes going to hand it off to Hunt. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
On 3rd down, it's Hunt, and he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. Give him 13 yards there and a Kansas City first down. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yards that they needed. But they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Here we go now. Green, 39. Green, 39.
On 2nd down, here's Mahomes. Wide open is Watkins. He's got him. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Sammy Watkins, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Chiefs are going to take a first quarter lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Here's Emmanuel Sanders now as he and the rest of the offense march back onto the field. There's a lot of talk in training camp about him getting off to a hot start this year, saying that they needed that. Well, he's done it through the first month.
It kind of reminds me of one of those great musical groups where one person has their name out front, then they have the backups, right? He's the guy out front because the backups, they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, but we're going to the headliner each and every time. And that's not easily done because, you know, all the defenses are kicking towards him right now. That means he's fighting his way through traffic, finding ways to get open, even when he's not supposed to be.
And the first play of the drive there is incomplete. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. And a nice run past the 30-yard line there. It'll be a gain of 7, and they get it back to a 3rd and 3. Now a handoff. It's Freeman. And the broken tackle helps lead to a first down gain. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield. Guy who can take it the distance. But a short yardage, trying to pick up first downs, that big guy, always a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Roger.
Now it's Keenum. And some room to work. Back alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Bronco football to begin quarter number 2. But they've got a 3rd and inches coming up, trying to keep the chains moving.
No. Roger.
Now it's Freeman. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches. Now a first down throw. Keenum. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. Charles, he doesn't seem to be particularly in tune with his receivers, just 2 for 7 throwing the football, but he did seem really locked in before the game.
Yeah, and that has to do with receivers sometimes. Sometimes the defenders knock them off their routes, and you're usually pretty precise. 1, 2, 3 cut, balls out of his hands to the receiver. In this case, might be off by a half step either way. They've got to find a way to get back in sync.
4 down. Check.
On 2nd down, Freeman. And he'll take it across the 50 and into Chief territory. He's able to rattle off 6 on the carry, and that'll get him to 3rd and 4.
22. Hey, orange.
Keenum going to throw. And on the catch right side, this is Sanders. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
22.
On 4th down, Keenum. And that's complete to the tight end, Hireman. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. The Broncos unable to convert here on 4th. And the Chiefs' defense comes up with a stop. Well, I guess they wanted to get that touchdown right back on their first drive, but failed to do so.
And what they have to be careful of is pushing so hard to stay right there, to stay even with their opponent, that they gas themselves out.
The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off by Brandon Marshall. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. Let's assess what the Denver Broncos have done so far this season as they come back onto the field here, Charles. Got off to the 2-0 start. Last week, though, the offense really wasn't clicking. Baltimore's defense was really good, and the Ravens got the 27-14 win.
Yeah, and that was a big one for Baltimore because that got them back on the beam. For Denver, they can regroup now. Remember, they had won the week before in an exciting game in their division against Oakland when they kicked the field goal at the buzzer. Now they get another divisional game coming up with Kansas City. That'll be at home before they go to the Jets. Dangerous with the new rookie quarterback, Sam Darnold. And then home for the hard-charging Rams. Maybe the best team in football right now.
Certainly that Broncos defense will be tested against Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. The Broncos on 3rd down. They've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. A shotgun snap for Keenum. Wide open receiver complete. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. Doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
Keenum now to throw. And that is incomplete here.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Throwing is Keenum on third down. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's fourth down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eye. Of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
And McManus able to put it through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
Fielded about a yard deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. So now here are the Chiefs as their offense makes their way back out onto the field. A tale of 2 extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar.
And it's intercepted. It's Chris Harris with a pick. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
Defense.
Wait a second. They did not accept that after the incompletion. Your look is just as puzzled as mine.
I got nothing for you here. You have to take that penalty, don't you?
It's free yards. Here's Freeman. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here. Here's Keenum to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the free safety, Eric Berry. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed. Because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
Throwing now is Mahomes, and this is caught by Watkins. And he will have the first down, but he winds up paying for it pretty good. Mahomes to the former Rams, Sammy Watkins for the Kansas City first. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back to Denver right after this. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first. First half, as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Looking to throw is Mahomes. Complete, the tight end Kelsey. A gain of 6 there on first.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a second and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now it's Mahomes again. It's Kelsey on the ground. And down inside the 15 he goes. It'll go as a gain of 10 and a Kansas City first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and put the down marker back to 1.
Here's Mahomes to throw. This will be caught at about the 5. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Well, as this game continues to evolve in the NFL, you know how much coaches love run after catch, but you know they love even more? Completion.
Yeah, just holding on to the ball.
Catch it, cover it, tuck it away. Whatever you get after that is almost gravy. That's how a lot of these receivers are being taught now.
And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. Goal line offense, something they've really been emphasizing in practice lately. Now they have a chance here to put all that hard work to use.
Here we go now. Blue 45. Blue 45.
They'll try to run with Hunt. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal. They come out here in the eye. He'll get it up the middle. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit.
Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8. And now the Broncos will burn another timeout here, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. And Butker able to put this one through. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that. We haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
The offense trots back onto the field, and we take an in-depth look at Royce Freeman. And I'm wondering if maybe they don't go away from him on this drive a little bit. He's been great, but they haven't scored a lot of points.
I think they still have to show him as a threat, make sure he touches it a few times, but as you pointed out, use him as a decoy a little bit and get the...
And got his man, complete! And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. Now a play fake here on first down. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Keenum. fighting through pressure, and that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. This was the old NFL record distance for decades, a 63-yard attempt. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it chip. All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Chiefs on top. Ready for the start of the third quarter. The Chiefs have the lead and set to receive the football. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Here comes the Chiefs offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. They'll run him now out of the gun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Domata Peko, the one to get him down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
They'll run it here with Hunt. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And able to find Conley. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
And there was absolutely zero pressure on the quarterback on that play. Third down, and he has all the time in the world to eventually find an open receiver for a first down pickup.
Mahomes now to throw, and it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Back to the air on second down. It's Mahomes. He's got his man on the comebacker. That's Watkins. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
And a short gain down to about the 33. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll run again with Hunt. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
On 3rd and long, it's Mahomes. He's going to dump this off to his running back, Hunt. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. It'll be a gain of 4, and it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through.
Now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. They trail.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Off play action. Keenum looking for Sanders here on the deep ball. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd. Well, this secondary has done such a good job of frustrating these receivers tonight. Another example right there on the deep ball.
Sometimes when the sun goes down and it's just the bright lights in the stadium, puts a little extra spring in their step, doesn't it? And that's what we're seeing from the defenders. Doesn't matter whether it's man or zone, deep ball, short ball. And that was a deep one there. They're making plays on the football, contesting everything.
He'll let this thing go for Sanders. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Steven Nelson able to get a hand in coverage.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to.
And now here comes Kansas City. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. To the right side, it's Kelsey. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 10 and a Kansas City first down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback.
Welcome back now to Denver. It's the Chiefs with the lead and the football here as we get set for quarter number 4.
Here we go now.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. It's the linebacker, Brandon Marshall, there on the tackle. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game. That'll put him at 66 receiving yards now for the game. And he's got a first down. Well, probably the only thing he did wrong there was go out of bounds, nursing this fourth quarter lead. You want to stay in, eat the clock. Yeah, you got to love the effort, the catch, the extra yardage, but you got to know the situation. Stay in bounds, young man.
No gain on the play. It'll be second down. As we get late in this one, is altitude a factor for a visiting team in Denver? Is that something that's overplayed?
No, it's real, and I know a lot of the visiting teams like to downplay it because they don't want to get into the heads of their players, but you can't avoid it. As soon as you get to the locker room, you get to the stadium, they always post it in there. Welcome to Denver.
And coughed it up. It's picked up by the Broncos. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
Partner, that one looked like it was over. I mean, they had control, had the football, and the defense had to make a play in order to keep them in the game. That's exactly what they did.
And now that door ajar, 2-score game, so hold on here, not done in the fourth. Following the fumble recovery, it's Keenum. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete. It was Orlando Scandrick the one that time to knock it away. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter and find their way open.
A hit as he throws there, incomplete. Thomas the intended target, and it's third down.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. And that's incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Now Keenum, got to have this one. And that is incomplete. The Broncos unable to convert here on fourth. And the Chiefs will have the football back in excellent field position. So they really needed points here in a two-score game. Could not come away with anything there on fourth.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. Now Mahomes throwing on second down. The tight end Kelsey has it over the middle. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Hunt gets it on the draw from Mahomes. It'll be a minimum pickup, and it will take us to the 2-minute warning. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. And this is going to be incomplete.
We see drops happen on hitch routes. A lot of the time it's because the timing's off on the play or trying to get his head upfield right before he secures the pass. Last thing, though, it's such an explosive move on the hitch route that sometimes they'll get their body settled before the ball gets there.
And the kick by Butker is good. And the lead stretches. 16-3 now. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
So the Broncos coming out now. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes
it's caught inside the 25. And he finally is out of bounds, but he's down inside the 20-yard line. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
22.
From the red zone now, Keenum. His throw incomplete.
What a job by this defense all game long. They've come together and really said, no one's crossing our goal line, and they're definitely not going to start right now.
You can just see the dejection. Feel like nothing is working offensively. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Here's Keenum. Being chased out left. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Working from the gun, Keenum. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a 1-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
Now McManus on to kick this one off. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now here comes Kansas City. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Here we go now. Green.
They run again with Hunt. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Here we go.
On the run, this is Hunt. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. And now the Broncos will burn another timeout here as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this 4th quarter. Victory in the cards now for the Chiefs as they take a knee here. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game.
Here we go now.
Down to a knee one more time, and that should just about do it. And the clock will roll down to zeros. 4 weeks in, 4-0. I don't think anybody needs to alert the 72 Dolphins just yet, but great start to the season.
Great start. How about taking a knee at the end? And there's no better feeling for a team than to do that, to close out a victory. But you're right, at 4-0, they're sending a message to the rest of the league. They're going to be tough to deal with.
One final try now for Keenum. He's going to let it fly. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you were wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for the Chiefs, that early momentum continues here as they move to 4-0. And they'll return home next week to take on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Meanwhile, for Denver, they'll fall back to 500 at 2-2. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at MetLife Stadium with the New York Jets. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.